Well, the 2024 presidential election is finally over. All right, fine. One party won, Republicans. Donald Trump won in a historic fashion. And they're calling it a landslide, approximately 312 electoral votes if you count Arizona, Nevada, and everything gets finally counted. But let's talk about what could happen, what will happen in the next couple of months. See, here's the deal. Yes, Trump has been elected president, but he doesn't take over until January the 20th. And during that time, he's got to form a cabinet, got to get his people set up, got to have a transition team. All of that has to be done. And the last time he did that in 2016, he had Chris Christie on his transition team, who's Trump put his father in jail, which is kind of another story right there, which is why Chris hates Trump right now. But anyway, he selected people to be on his cabinet and what have you, all Washington insiders, and that turned out to be one tragic mess. He brought people in like John Bolton and some of the other folks are all Washington insiders. They end up getting fired and then writing books. They hate Trump. Okay. That's a mistake that he made in 2016, and hopefully he will not make again because he's got new people on his transition team. You got Kennedy, you got Gabbard, and some of the other folks, and hopefully he won't make that mistake. All right. So he's got to get this all done and figure out what he can do and who he's going to put in there, and hopefully he cans some people like that attorney general, the lawsuit he's got going on. See, he's got that one conviction that happened in the state of New York. That's a state conviction, not a federal conviction. He can pardon a federal, but he can't pardon a state. And he's due for sentencing in November, and trying to get that thing off the books, if you will. The federal one down in Florida with the attorney general down there, I hope that the day he gets sworn into office, when he's riding in the car, calls up the phone and fires the guy. Man, that wouldn't be a bad idea. All right. But all of that being said, there's still another bigger issue coming up. Here's what we got to worry about because it hasn't been settled yet, and hopefully it will be settled because right now we don't know if the Republicans are going to have the House or not. Yes, they have the Senate, but not necessarily the House. That could go in different directions. If the Democrats take it over, and I told you this in an earlier episode, I said Jamie Raskin of Baltimore, he plans to bring up the Article 3 out of the Constitution, claiming that Trump is an insurrectionist. And if he passes a resolution with the Democrats, if they're in charge, they can throw out the election, flat out throw it out. And Trump wouldn't be allowed to say, no, his votes don't count. And what happens is the Congress is under the Constitution has to look at who all the other people who got voted in and who had the next highest vote, and that's who they got to vote for. That person, guess who that is? Kamala. Now, what could happen is the Republicans could say, no, we ain't going to do this, and they could literally get up and walk out of the House so that the House has no quorum. If you don't have a quorum, you can't do anything. So if all the Republicans say, nah, we're quitting, we're walking out, we're going to stand in the street, we're going to stand on the road and say, no, we ain't coming back. It's been done. And nothing can get done. Well, you see, the House certifies one thing, the President, the Senate certifies the Vice President. And if they can't vote on this and get it figured out and say, we're not going to do Kamala, in the second, there's another procedure that comes in. Now, the Senate could confirm J.D. Vance as the temporary acting president. But then the next thing that comes up is to say, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to give each state one vote. Each state one vote. And the states then each have who they're going to vote for, and the majority is who they're going to select as president. That's the situation that could be used. That's if, and I've said if the Democrats win the House of Representatives. We don't know. And when you see this, depending on when it is, it may be over. Maybe not be a big deal. This may be a moot point totally. But the biggest thing is, during the transition, Trump has to set up a whole new group of people, insiders, the people he wants on his cabinet inside, and hopefully he'll do a better job than he did in 2016. I'm just giving you all that as a heads up so you know what's coming. Hopefully good. We don't want bad, but you never know in today's world.